Are we finally done with the Alec Baldwin criminal rust prosecution? The court in 6 pages told Karrie Morrissey no about 7 different ways, and I think really just said GFO, because not only did the court quote back Karrie Morrissey's words to her, the court actually cited the law that would allow the court to consider the motion to reconsider the dismissal with prejudice that Karrie never cited, but also pointed out that the motion was untimely. Why? Because instead of filing a 10-page motion, Karrie Morrissey filed a 52-page written motion with 300 pages of exhibits without express leave from the court to go over page limits. And she did it on the last day of the 30-day time period. And the court said, I am not considering the 52-page motion. And the motion, the amended motion filed September 5th, is too late. The deadline was August 30th. You didn't get leave from the court. You didn't file it to the deadline. Untimely. It's untimely. Not only is it untimely, it's not well taken because you could have made those arguments and there is nothing new here. Also, I could have considered the first 10 pages of the 52-page motion, but they were wasted with a recitation of what the court called a factual narrative. Not a recitation of the facts, a factual narrative. So, the court has closed this chapter by denying the motion to reconsider the dismissal with prejudice. Baldwin cannot be retried here. Do I know if that will stop Karrie Morrissey from trying to appeal this? I don't think it's going to go well if she does. It might not stop her from trying, though, but this should be done. And if she continues to go, at some point, the courts might assign the cost of these motions to her. It was not a well-taken motion, and the court even cited, which I thought was just the shade on the top of all of this, the court cited what Karrie Morrissey said in court when not raising the arguments that were raised in the motion. The court quoted Karrie Morrissey as saying, I don't think I'm going to have much of a response. I can probably just do it orally because I've now figured out what we're dealing with. I don't think Karrie Morrissey ever really appreciated what she was dealing with these motions. And the court pointed out her failure to raise those arguments in court is her own fault. It is not because they weren't available to her. She just didn't perceive that they were needed. And that is not grounds for this dismissal with prejudice to be overturned. So for now, and I think for good, this case is closed. Alec Baldwin prosecution in the Rust shooting of Helena Hutchins is done. The civil cases are not. For deep dives into the stories that I covered here, you can find them on my YouTube channel at The Emily D. Baker and The Emily Show podcast. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday. The podcast goes live on Wednesdays. And if you want to stay in the loop with everything I'm doing, receive the fastest notifications out there, and get more Law Nerd community, join me at lawnerdapp.com, our free app for iOS and Android.